Alright, piss and vinegar day 112. Chest and triceps. Today I didn't train with music, and my workout suffered. I was intense, and I was definitely training to failure and beyond, but I found without music, I just wasn't as strong, actually. My incline bench, I got a rep less than last time, and part of that is because now that I can't go up in weight on the dumbbells, I'm not as excited to progress. So part of it is mental. Like, if I knew that the next progression was 42 kilos, then I'd probably be really raring to try and get, all reps of 10, because I do 6 to 10 reps on the incline dumbbell press. But because I don't have that, now I'm just going up in reps and reps and reps. I think part of it was, not really tantalized by the idea, because I don't like high reps, and I want to progress weight. So might really need to get some, heavier dumbbells. Super expensive, but whatever. And then also, just not having music to really fuel me on. I was kind of in my head rather than really in the set as far as just being aggressive went. So, my left shoulder was also kind of being weird, being unstable, which, it is what it is. That just happens sometimes. My shoulders are super unstable. But otherwise, not a bad workout. I didn't lose strength per se. I only lost a rep here, and the rest of the stuff, I gained strength on my bench press. But yeah, the music definitely helps. I put my wireless earphones, because sometimes I train too late because I have a big day at work or whatever it is. I'm busy throughout the day, and I don't train until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And my neighbor's house is right next to my shed, so I can't be blasting fucking Slayer at 9 o'clock at night. It's just rude. So normally I'd have my earphones in, but they went through the wash, so they don't work anymore. So I had to buy some new ones. And I was starting to really enjoy the earphones over the stereo system I have, whatever. But also, the problem with the earbuds is they do ear damage. Like, I was listening to music so fucking loud in my ear hole that when I finished training, I'm like, oh fuck, I can't hear anything. Like, my ears are ringing, and that's not good. Like, that's how you go deaf over time. Like, that's what happened to my old man. By the time he was like 45, he'd be like, hello, and he'd say, hey, what's that? Like, he was fucking deaf. So, I'll probably buy like the headphones that go over the ears. That way I don't get so much hearing damage from fucking blasting metal into my ears. So I'll buy some of them. And on the way is a wireless microphone. So I'll be going that kind of live narration route a little bit. Not every time, not every video. But, maybe 30-40% of the time. Or whatever I feel like. I mean, I really do like this post-workout narration. It's kind of meditative for me, and I like talking about topics, but there's plenty of things when I'm working out where it would be easier for me to just kind of narrate it in the workout. And then you also get a glimpse of how absolutely loud and, obnoxiously screaming and grunting I am with high intensity. You get kind of a preview into how you should probably sound if you're training with true intensity. So that's another benefit, but yeah, that's common. I spent like 200 fucking bucks on that because I bought a cheap one that was like 15-20 bucks. Do not buy a cheap wireless lavalier mic. They are absolutely punishingly shit. Buy a Rode or whatever the fuck. Like, get one that, on YouTube someone reviews and you can actually hear the audio quality first, because those cheap ones are going to be absolutely fucking terrible. So, bought those. And, yeah. Fuck, what else was I say? I can't remember what I was going to say now. Ah, well. Anyway, I'm not too concerned about the lifts. Two of the lifts not going up today. So far throughout my program, just about all the compound lifts have gone up every single session. So to miss one session is not a huge deal, especially since I didn't go down in strength. And, I had reasons as to why I wasn't going up in strength, because of the music or whatever. But eventually, linear progression slows down. It can't go up through the roof forever. Mine was going up pretty quickly, but also I'm in a maintenance phase now, so I don't have a huge calorie surplus to fuel the energy. So it stands to reason that my, progressive overload will slow down a little bit. And that's fine. Like, progression doesn't have to be weight every session. It doesn't have to be numerous reps every session. It could be that you got closer to completing the rep that you couldn't complete last time. So, like, last week you tried on the 8th rep to get a rep and you didn't even get close, and then this time you almost got that 8th rep or whatever, and then, or it could be better form. Progression can come through many different factors, but I think I'll continue progressing pretty fast while I'm in this maintenance. And again, my bench press here went up again. Every session I'm able to go up 2.5 kilos, which is cool. I'm hoping to get up to about 80 or 90 kilos for 15 reps in the next month or two. So, or whatever the mathematics is, 2.5 kilos in a month, so 10 kilos. So yeah, in 2 months I'll probably be at about 85 kilos for 15 reps, which is, that'll be a happy spot. Hopefully that makes my overall 1 rep max a bit higher. Really enjoying these close grip Larsen presses, really allowing me to hit my chest. If you're having a hard time hitting your pecs on wide grip bench presses, for sure try the close grip, because it allows you to abduct the chest more, and it actually makes more sense a lot of times than a wider grip bench. Also do the Larsen press in order to make sure that your reps are consistent. But yeah, I'm not too worried about the progression. And the thing is, as time goes on, if it really stalled out majorly whilst in a bulk or something, then I would simply change out a parameter. Like I would increase a rep range or lower a rep range, or I would switch out the exercise entirely to override the biological law of accommodation. But I was doing that a little bit previously, but there was no reason for me to do it because I wasn't stalling out yet. So I decided I'd just start doing the same compound movements every single session, because for the most part, because I was still making a shit ton of linear progress. So in the future, if my linear progression really stalls out, then yeah, I might switch, incline or dumbbell press for something else, or I might switch it for a dip, or the bench press I might swap that out for a flat dumbbell press or whatever it is, just to then get back into fresh gains. But for now, no problem. This movement here, like my tricep push down, another compound movement, didn't go up today, but it didn't go down. So again, I'm not freaking out. A lot of people are impatient. If they make a bunch of progress very quickly, and then it slows down, they're like, "Why is it slowing down? I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to program hop. I'm going to change this parameter. I'm going to change." Just chill out. It's linear progression slows down. Otherwise, if it didn't, at the rate I've been progressing, in a year from now, I'd be fucking bench pressing like 300 kilos, or I'd be tricep extending 3 stacks. So it has to slow down. I mean, it sucks it has to slow down, but it does. So I'm not too worried, as long as it's not stalling out completely. If you go like 3 weeks and you don't get an extra rep or something, or you go a month and you haven't increased the weight on something that's compound at least, then yeah, you're probably fucking something up. But also it's movement dependent. Like my bicep curls, I don't really it takes a very long time to progressively overload a bicep curl. It's such a small muscle. It's such a very difficult resistance curve. It's not like a barbell squat or deadlift where you can progress that shit 2.5 kilos every single session. You can go months at a time just to add to that 2.5 kilo progression. So it's movement dependent too. So yeah, be patient. And that's I was listening to Lee Priest the other day. Lee Priest is a great bodybuilder, Australian bodybuilder. I love him because he says it how it is. He's very much like Dorian Yates, where he just speaks his mind and he just doesn't give a fuck what people think. And I find that very admirable, and that's something that I've done for a long time myself. And I'll be criticized, and my problem is I'll take the criticism and be like, oh well, maybe I shouldn't speak my mind. But Lee is a good example of someone who just speaks his mind and doesn't give a fuck what people think, and I really dig that. And so is Dorian Yates. But anyway, Lee Priest was talking about people just not being patient. People said, how do I get big? And he just said, you just have to be fucking patient. It takes a long fucking time. Like, most training works. If you're in a calorie surplus, you'll probably make good gains. Everything beyond that is optimization. But obviously, if you optimize everything as well as you possibly can, but then beyond that point, it's just time. It's going to take a lot of time. It's time and genetics. You aren't a Lee Priest, you're not a Dorian Yates, where it didn't take time. Dorian Yates trained for 6 months, and he's fucking huge. Lee Priest trained for 6 months, he was fucking huge. I trained for 6 months, I don't see fuck all progress. So, part of that is genetics, and if you don't have the genetics, then it's just going to take time. And if you don't have time, then the only option is to then jump on steroids, basically. Like, if you don't have time, and you've optimized everything else, then and you're super impatient, then that's the only route. And that's kind of, that's a cope. You should just take the time to build the muscle. It's, it's more favorable in the long run, and it's much more sustainable, far more sustainable. So you got to be patient, especially with progressive overload, or not even so much, especially with progressive overload, especially with muscle gain. Like, you can gain, like, especially if you just first start training, you can gain a fucking insane amount of strength in a very short amount of time, just through your neurological adaptations alone. And the muscular strength can get very, very strong very quickly. The muscles, however, take a very long time to grow. I've gained a lot of strength throughout this bulk, and I've built a decent amount of muscle too, but not relative to the strength level, that's for sure. And I've been training high intensity, so this strength I've gotten is raw physical strength. It's not, a neurological adapted strength, and yet still, it's not relative to the same amount of muscle I've built. As much as muscle that I have over this bulk, strength comes much quicker than size. So you've got to be patient on both ends, but especially size. Anyway, that's it for today. See you guys tomorrow for more Piss and Vinegar. Bye-bye.